And now we're going to take a quick moment to hear from two of our student athletes and hear some of the things that they have dealt with as they've been here as student athletes and some of the challenges and advice and things that they have for our current student athletes. So to speak on behalf of our male athletes, I would like to call up Scott Schultz, a senior member of our football team and a political science major, who throughout his career at UNH has achieved a cumulative grade point average of a 3.78 and has been on the Dean's List in all 4 semesters that he's been here at the University of New Haven. Scott?
Thanks, Larry. Good morning. Let me first start off by congratulating my fellow athletes on their accomplishments, not only their respective teams, but in the classroom as well. I'd also like to thank the administration for the opportunity to speak this morning about my time here as a student athlete. I transferred to the University of New Haven from the University of Connecticut prior to the spring of semester 2010. Following the advice of a former coach who stopped long in his coaching career, including UNH in the 1990s, I took a leap of faith, perhaps underestimating the actual magnitude of the decision that I was making. As I began my first semester at UNH, it became very clear that certain traits here were valued at a higher level than my previous institution. One of those was balance. As a student athlete, we find ourselves under the microscope more often than the regular student. However, I strongly feel that the ability to succeed every day is not because we are afraid of potential scrutiny, but because we have been able to combine the lessons learned in athletics and academics in order to become more successful individuals. Being able to balance a heavy demand from all the coaches, professors, family, and friends is fundamental to success. The Division II level of collegiate athletics is something that is not to be taken for granted, where the essence of sport and academics is genuine, unaffected by outside factors. Every athlete watches as the transformation of the sport they once played for fun evolves into a passion we cannot live without. Eventually, most of us will continue our journey going pro in something other than sports, and it's the lessons learned, values shaped, and attitudes produced during our time as student athletes that will serve as a sturdy platform for developing the skills and knowledge to succeed long after the final whistle is blown. Without proper balance among other traits, there are several things I have enjoyed at UNH that would never have been possible. Academically, I would have never been able to serve as a pre-law society president in addition to my curriculum. From an athletic standpoint, without balance, I would have not had the chance to be part of such an incredible football team that has enjoyed so many memories during its remarkable resurgence over the past few years. Being a student athlete without debate has been one of the best things that's ever happened to me. And now that the shoulder pads have been taken off for the last time, I'm rewarded with memories and lessons learned from my experiences. If I could offer any advice whatsoever, it would be to make sure you're utilizing every resource available to you, whether it be professors, advisors, coaches, or even older players. Secondly, have fun. These years fly by extremely fast, and I believe you'd be hard-pressed to find another athlete who wouldn't do it all over again after the time is done. That being said, I'd like to thank everyone who's helped me along my trip. Coaches, family, friends, administration, professors. And I'd like to once again thank the administration for this opportunity, as well as anyone and everyone that is here today. I wish all of you the best of luck in your upcoming seasons, as well as your future endeavors. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. To speak on behalf of our women's student athletes, please welcome Aubrey Duncan, a senior student athlete on the women's lacrosse team who will be completing her degree in interior design. She is a 6-time Dean's List student athlete and currently maintains a cumulative grade point average of a 3.70. Aubrey.
Welcome administrators, staff, parents, relatives, and student athletes. I'm extremely honored to speak to you today and would like to share a few stories about my life and experiences as a student athlete at UNH. I was recognized at an early age for being organized and extremely particular. I always strive for perfection. My mom said that when I was 2 years old, I began dressing myself in perfectly matched outfits. At 6 years old, I remember being at the beach at Block Island, cleaning in between my toes until I got every speck of sand off. And for a second grade school project, I dressed up as Picasso because I had aspirations of being an artist when I grew up. In my life, I went on to develop many interests. My parents introduced me to a wide variety of sports at an early age, including soccer, gymnastics, swimming, lacrosse, volleyball, and basketball. My love and passion for lacrosse made it my sole sports interest during my sophomore year in high school, and I wanted it to be a major part of my college career. However, I was very confused with my career path. In 10th grade, I spoke to my athletic trainer about practicing physical therapy. As a junior, I wanted to be a phys ed teacher and a lacrosse coach. At one point, I considered being an architect and met with a professional in New York City. After he explained that he had no social life in college, that career choice was crossed off the list. In high school, my favorite subject was math, so I considered accounting. After that, hospitality, for who knows what reason. It was in this confused state that I began the process of applying to colleges. I had a very difficult time finding a school that offered all of these career paths, as well as a strong lacrosse program. I wanted one school that had it all in the event I decided to change majors. My goal was to complete a degree in 4 years at the same university. My mom thought I'd thrive in a creative environment, so she suggested interior design as an additional option, and I went for it. 5 colleges, including the University of New Haven, fit my criteria, so my father and I visited the campus, took the tour, and met with Coach Fallon. Several weeks later, I signed my letter of intent at UNH, and that August I arrived on campus. After 2 days as an interior design student, I had serious doubts about my ability to keep up with the rest of the class, many of whom had strong art backgrounds. I discussed my concerns with my professor, Cecilia Mandrile, who encouraged me to stick with it. The drive and desire to improve that we learn as athletes kicked in. Within the month, she recognized me as one of the top students in the class. From that point on, I have never second-guessed my choice. There is no better feeling than achieving success through motivation, effort, and perseverance. New challenges are something I look forward to. The bigger they are, the more I embrace them. Sometimes when I'm in the design studio in Dad's Hall at 3 a.m., even though I'm tired, I appreciate pushing the limits of what I can accomplish. For instance, at the end of last semester, I had an interesting experience while finalizing my design portfolio. Although I said it was a strange experience, it was one of countless times that I pulled all-nighters to complete my interior design projects. It was 11 p.m., and I was at the FedEx store to print and bind my design portfolio. The first printout was not acceptable because the clerk didn't trim the pages correctly. After he reprinted it, I realized there was an error, and I had to return home to correct it on my MacBook. As I left home to go back to FedEx, my car wouldn't start, and I had to be towed. At this point, it was 5 a.m., and my roommate had to drive me to FedEx. By the time my portfolio was finally completed, my friends drove me directly to my 8 a.m. final to turn it in. Even though I wanted to rip my hair out in frustration and quit school that night, I was determined to do well on the most important project of my college career. My lacrosse career in high school was not as accomplished as I hoped it would be. When entering the collegiate level of play, Coach Fallon recognized my potential and trusted me to start defense as a freshman, a position that I had never played before. We had an excellent team with 5 seniors and 3 freshmen in the starting lineup. We reached the NE10 conference semifinals against Merrimack, who we had defeated during the season, but they were ready for us. Down by 4 goals with just 5 minutes remaining in the game, we rallied with 5 consecutive goals to advance to the finals and win our first conference title at UNH. Our dedication and commitment to each other throughout that season is something I will never forget. After we won our first NE10 conference title my freshman year, I was named to the All-Rookie team and second team All-Conference. I have surpassed my own expectations with the additional awards I've won each season. My parents and family, some of whom are here supporting me today, have raised me to be have raised me to be the person that I am, but I never would have evolved into half the player I've become without Coach Fallon. Her dedication to the team and the success of all her pursuits reaches far beyond lacrosse and has a profound impact on every individual's future. She is the most amazing coach, one of my biggest role models, and is certainly one of my greatest mentors. Furthermore, my mom and dad are my heroes. My mom has always been supportive of me and has taught me valuable lessons in life. Moreover, I really admire my dad's work ethic. Dedication and motivation towards his career is incredible. The support he has given me is truly implausible, and I can't ever thank him enough. Every student athlete being honored today should be proud of the fact that they've succeeded at such a high level of academics and athletics. We've taken on difficult schedules in both arenas. Most of our days start very early and extend late into the evening. We fight through injuries, make up missed classes and assignments due to competitions, donate our time and expertise to worthy community causes, and struggle with adverse challenges in the classroom and on the field of play. We do all of this while maintaining a minimum 3.5 GPA and squeezing in some semblance of a social life. In closing, I'd like to thank everyone at UNH who has made my time here so memorable and successful. My journey at the university has launched my career, which begins this June at Train Systems Corporation in South Norwalk, where I anticipate joining as an interior designer. Whatever you may choose to do in life, everyone in this room can relate to my story in some way. It is the times that are tough which makes us stronger and pushes us to be successful. As famous British science fiction writer Arthur C. Clarke once said, "The only way of finding the limits of possible is by going beyond them into the impossible." Thank you.